Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Fox and today I wanted to show you my brand new hybrid support build designed to work in 4-man groups for the Dark Zone and in Conflict. This build incorporates a lot of team healing, burn status effects and armour regen whilst being able to output a reasonable amount of damage myself, and all of those things combined mean that if anybody decides to push my team whilst I am there, they're going to have a rough time breaking through, well, basically all of that. So what I'll do in the usual fashion is include a timestamp link in the description for the build itself if you just want to have a look at the pieces and why I put them together. And of course the conflict gameplay, that will also be in there as well. And finally I will include a link for the TU 11.1 patch notes, as there are some very important changes to PvP and the summit that I recommend you will look at if you haven't done so already. So what we're essentially doing with this build is utilising perfectly efficient with survivalist, which means we can heal our entire team. Anybody that's 20 meters away from us or less, we can heal them 150% of their total armor over 5 seconds. So we're actually over healing them, which is amazing if they're already being shot. And because we now have a 75% chance to not consume the armor kit, well, my all-time record in conflict is 12 armor kits in a row without dying or picking up any fresh ones. I literally just gained 10 in a row before I completely ran out. It was absolutely insane. And each time you pop one of those, you're getting that 50% specialization armor kit bonus as well, which for those of you that don't know exactly what it does with survivalist, gives you this bad boy here, the distributed repair. Armor kits now repair over 5 seconds instead of instantly, but also apply to group members within 20 meters. So by combining the survivalist armor kit with the perfectly efficient chest piece, the Bellstone chest piece, it's pretty ridiculous. Your team just don't die very easily and you can just keep on popping them. We're also using Perfectly Wicked because we wanted Golan on this build. No, I didn't want to use the 30% multiplicative backpack from Eclipse Protocol. I forgot the name of the brand set then. Just because I lose too many brand set bonuses, I lose crit chance or crit damage. It just doesn't fit very well into this build. But yeah, the Golan, the Perfectly Wicked, is a great alternative. Really helps with my own personal damage. And the way that we are applying those status effects is via the Imperial Dynasty holster, which is amazing because in the middle of a fight, so basically 3 seconds into that fight, you're just going to burn them when they think they're about to get close to killing you. Because they can no longer aim down sights, you can then use that window to pop your armor kit. I just quickly run around a corner. They're probably not going to chase you anyway because they're burning, and even if they decide to do so, they're not going to be able to land their headshots because you can't aim down sight whilst you're burning. This enables me to pop the perfectly efficient survivalist armor kit, heal myself and everybody else in radius. That person is then going to die. It works really, really well. On top of all of that, we're also utilising the Pyromaniac just to take advantage of burning enemies, and after 3 kills, that's another way to apply burn. And we've got the Jammer Pulse as another way to apply disrupt as well. So it's just another way that we can keep that perfectly wicked talent available. So let's have a look at the exact pieces and see how I've managed to squeeze all of this into one build. I'll then show you exactly how it works. Obviously you've just seen the Pyromaniac here. I was lucky enough to get a triple god roll one, so I'm really happy with this. Damage to targets out of cover is always the best minor attribute you can get, so 100% aim for this on all of your weapons. And my secondary is the send-off shotgun. As of TU 11.1, shotguns do less damage, but shields take more damage. And the range that you get from this is phenomenal. Damage to armor and damage to targets out of cover are what roll on shotguns, and both of those do buff damage to shields, so shotguns are still the best shield killer in the game. I just like having this as a secondary. If they're running away or they're a bit of range and they've popped at their shield, I'll just whip this bad boy out. It's up to you whether you choose the card name pistol for the +1 skill to or the orbit. I've always preferred the orbit because basically there's less than a 1% chance you're ever going to whip out your pistol in conflict if you build focuses around your AR or whatever else. But if you do decide to do so when they're very low, you're going to get a nice big critical hit chance and damage buff. But use what you want here. This is in no way part of this build. We are using, of course, the burn grenades. Yes, you can change this to the concussion if you want. For example, if I'm ever playing Technician, I do not use the EMP grenade because it is terrible. I always switch this to the concussion grenade. But in this case, the burn grenade has a very wide radius of 5 meters, which is amazing. Most of these are 2. I guess that's a bit bigger, but yeah. So incendiary grenade is another way to proc that perfectly efficient. The perfectly wicked, and it's a great way to close kills for people that are downed as well. We're using a Fenris mask with a very nice roll just here. This gives us the 10% AR damage to buff our Pyromaniac. This is the only red on the build, so I'm glad that this is as well rolled as it is because I wanted to squeeze every extra bit of damage out of this as possible. And the higher that core attribute of weapon damage, the better Perfectly Wicked performs. So this is a great mask to pair with this build. Of course, you'll know the everyday carrier. This drops anywhere in game. Wow, JTF, man, you guys have no manners. This drops anywhere in game, so yeah, just farm chests or Bellstone if you want to get one of these. Mine roll quite nicely with chance damage armour, and of course you'll know the perfectly efficient talent. Using that armour kit has a 75% chance to not consume it, and you get your specialisation bonuses. Your armour kit bonuses specifically increased by 50% in a PvP environment, 100% outside. The Imperial Dynasty holster gives us 10% status effect, which pairs very nicely into the burn. Now normally it just applies the burn to the enemy closest to us within 20 meters. In combat and in conflict or the dark zone, so PvP basically, you need to maintain a line of sight for 3 seconds first of all. That's absolutely fine, you're going to be involved in fights anyway. Yeah, it's really easy to proc this, you just get in a fight, and as I said before, the moment that they set on fire, they're going to struggle to kill you. That is your window to apply your perfectly efficient survivalist armor kit, and that is why I'm using this particular holster. It just works really, really well with the build. Whoops. The backpack is one of 2 pieces of Golan. 1 piece Golan gives us 10% status effects, which pairs really nicely with the burn that we're using on the holster, and the second piece gives us 1% armor regen. So in conjunction with the Bellstone brand set bonus of 1% armor regen, we're already at 2%, and then of course the named Emperor's Guard knees give us the extra 1%, bringing us to 3 in total, which is really nice. This I could have rolled to crit damage, but I just found that the combination of the 10% status effects from Golan, the 10% that I rolled on, and the 10% from Imperial was just enough for the burn to last pretty much the entirety of the fight against a very tanky opposition. So I quite like having that rolled on there, but you could just go for crit chance, crit damage. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, just play what you're comfortable with. But 30% felt like a good number for me, just, yeah. Of all the testing I've done, that seemed to be the best one to go for without overdoing it. Of course, Perfectly Wicked gives us a total weapon damage buff of 18%, so that's really nice. It's less effective on low red builds, but still, it's still more damage than it would have been. So, yeah, that was why I chose to go with this. Second piece of Golan to give us the 1% armor regen are these very well rolled gloves, once again rolled into crit chance and crit damage, and then of course, as you've already seen, the Murakami knees do give us the 1%, and I've got crit chance rolled onto these whilst rolling them to blue as well. If you don't get a very good pair of these, you can, they have been for sale a few times recently, just roll them to blue regardless of the minor attribute. I'd love a pair with max crit chance or damage, but you know, that is an incredibly rare drop. One day though, one day I'll get them. So that's essentially the build just there. You know, you want to use whatever chance and damage mods you can to essentially hit cap. So if you go to my stats, you can see I'm at 57.2% chance and 104.3 damage. So, you know, near enough 60% of the time, our bullets are going to be double strength, which is really nice. And of course, being a pyromaniac, the other way we're getting more damage here is that 25% burning damage to burning enemies. So yeah, that's going to work really well as well. The skills that I'm using are, because I don't have in sync on this build, so I don't want a shield, I'm using the Jammer Pulse as another way to proc in sync. Excuse me, as another way to proc Perfectly Wicked. That previous statement would be true if I was using it. And then the decoy. I use the decoy when I set an enemy on fire and I want to run away to get my my armor kit off. It's just another way to keep myself alive in conjunction with all the armor regen. So yeah, some of that may not make sense because there does seem to be a lot going on with this build, but as I say, I'll load into that conflict game now so you can see exactly how it performs, and hopefully that will clear some things up and, you know, show you that this build does work really well when played with the team.
Incoming backup request.
Beat the enemy before your reinforcements are spent.
Alright then, so we're at Fort McNair. I know I just said that this build plays well in a team and then solo queued into a game. I will say this now, the build, it does struggle in solo play because of course when you're with your clanmates, you can tell them, guys, I'm popping my armor kit, and I call that all the time, and then they know to just play really aggressively because for 5 seconds they are very nearly unkillable. But let's see how it performs in a solo game. Now, surprise, surprise, there are 3 firewall on my team and 3 on their team. I cannot wait for them to nerf that. I will be honest, I think it's quite poor etiquette to be abusing that in conflict. Almost every major clan I've seen on Xbox has been doing so, and it's really disappointing to see because it is a bit of a cheap way to get kills. But at the same time, I can't really blame those people because it is in the game. You know, Massive aren't going to be banning people for it. It's not. Oh, there's a guy right there. Ah, no! So what I'm going to do now, oh my god, they're all here. So what I'm going to do here is just get the armor kit off near my team. Guy's burning. So let's see, I'm on 2 now. Still on 2, nice. Why can't I run? Ah! I'm bleeding. Ridgeways, no! There you go, that's the armour regen that's coming in clutch there. So I managed to catch that guy. You see the symbol above his head? Probably should have saved that EMP for a stinger, but never mind. I'm going to try and take a bit of damage here so I can heal this guy. Wait, what? Was that a healing hive? That wasn't damaging me. I thought that was a bleed. Oh, okay. This is essentially what you do. You just run with your team, you throw your grenade, you use your EMP, you get in combat to apply your burn, and as soon as you take a little bit of damage, you just pop an armor kit. It's a little bit cheesy, but it's so powerful when played correctly. I don't think the spawns are swapped, have they?
Boost about to activate.
Where is this boost going to be?
Boost now active.
So I'm going to take a bit of damage here.
Seeker mine detected.
Now I've taken that, pop the armor kit. Oh, no. Wait, what? Ah, there was a guy. I thought Snick would shoot me from the right. Okay, that was a bit stupid. I just stood right next to a dude and popped an armor kit.
The boost has been taken by the enemy.
That's a shame. So what normally happens in that situation is your burn would apply by then, because I don't usually pop the armor kit too early. I'll wait for the burn to kick in if there's sort of one person there, but because he was in cover and staying hidden, I literally didn't see him, probably because I'm an idiot. You know, yeah, it didn't work, so he just was able to laser me. Why is my kill feed so large? The other good thing with the burn grenade is, in this situation, let's say these guys are both low and you need to take a bit of damage, throw your grenade on the floor, because it won't kill you, it'll just do a bit of damage as it's a burn. And then you can still pop your armor kit, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. Oh, I left it a bit late. It is a healing hive. Oh, wow, that was a lot of damage. Yeah, we were 2 men down there, to be fair.
Agent deceased.
Let's wait for our team to group up. Okay, a bit of a rough start, but, you know, I say this all the time, don't judge your build based on my performance. Don't forget I am in a solo queue game. I can't tell my teammates what I'm doing. They can't tell me if someone's pushing our flank. Like that earlier kill, that guy was hidden to the right. I straight up didn't see him. I did not know he was there. Yeah, you know, just play the build for yourself first before you judge it, because it does kind of suck in solo play, like a lot of builds. You know, most of the best builds in this game synergize well with your teammates, and if you're not playing with a team, you know, you're always going to have a worse game. There's no two ways about it. And the good news with this as well is you can afford to play quite aggressively. So now I've done that, I'm going to pop this. Oh no, we're down to 1.
Supply drop is being claimed by the enemy.
Ah, they're using a healer. Always makes for such a boring game when people use healers. I hate it.
Specialization supply drop is
The armor kit off. There we go. Play a bit more aggressively. I just used both of them? 75% chance to not use them, and it's used both. Wow. What? That literally never happens, and the moment that I try and get it out for you guys, it does. Okay, this is going to limit what I can do now, and you will find this sometimes if you're live for too long. We've still got the this is the point of the 3% armor regen. Ah, as if they're using, as if they're abusing the.
Rogue striker drone detected.
Can we win the fight? We can win the fight. Yes. Nothing but headshots. Yeah, this meta has been awful. Just everybody abusing that firewall flamethrower. It's really poor etiquette. Honestly, I can't stand it. That's one thing I can hand on heart say that I've not done once. CMP is working quite well against their healer though. Ah, now my team are doing it. Ah. It's going to be such a good nerf when they get rid of that. Let's set this guy on fire if we can. No, he got into cover in time. That's fine. You don't want to use it, and this is why it's actually not a bad nerf. You don't want to use it when you're not in combat. You want it to kick in, you know, when you're actually in the middle of a fight. Otherwise, it's just a waste.
The enemy can't keep up. They're about to get pulled out. Nobody's pulling out. The fight goes on. There are no more rogue reinforcements.
Boost.
There's the
about to
Wicked.
come online. An agent needs assistance.
Don't want to go too deep here.
Boost online.
That's my time to dip. Let's go get that boost. So yeah, the armor kit. The you know, I'm not getting a chance to show you how many armor kits I could use because I did just go through 2 straight away. I think I've got 3 off in total, which is a big shame, but what can you do?
Allies are acquiring the boost.
What can you do?
Allies
But the armor regen is great, and if you do actually armor regen to full whilst you're popping your armor kit, it still works. Yeah, let's get out of that fight. We don't want to be in that. Let's wait for our team to catch up. So we're currently on 2 kills, 2 deaths, 5 assists, and 24 million damage, which actually isn't too bad. It's higher than I expected it to be. And this is what I like about it. You know, I was saying earlier that yes, it can almost seem like a jack of all trades, master of none, but the armor regen is crucial. It is really good for just for staying alive, so that you can actually do what you need to do, which is pop those armor kits, set people on fire, and murder stuff. And ultimately, that is what we're here for. Where is this guy? Ah, as if he's used that as well. Boys, behave yourselves. That is naughty. And there it is.
Victory
We'll have a look at the
is
endgame stats, and that'll be the end of the video. So let's see how we performed, considering we weren't using the flamethrower. It's got to be done. Yeah, there you go. So 24 mil damage. I'll take that. You know, I've had worse games. You will be getting a lot of assists with this build, but it's just such a shame that I didn't get that many armor kits off there, because you can go through so many and just constantly heal your team over and over and over again without the need for skills. And the best part is, if you EMP'd as a healer, you can't do anything. If you EMP'd as a perfect efficient survivalist user, makes no difference. Still works. Still lets us apply our status effects, because we're getting that from Pyromaniac and from the Imperial Dynasty holster. So all of the benefits of the build and all the procs that we need to buff our damage and heal our team are not impacted by EMP, which is amazing, because normally they are. So that is it. That's the build. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you all probably in the next couple of days, ready for a brand new TU11 build for Ridgeways. I've got a new Summit build prepared for you all as well. Quite looking forward to showcasing those. Let me know what you think to this build, of course, in the comments. And until then, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.